spacious aisles of total convenience, plus clean, safe surroundings. Let us care for you. Extra Foods, always extra for less.
Chic Leisure Limited, the leading manufacturers of vermicelli, now available pre-cut in parch and unparched in convenient packet sizes. Whatever your needs, trust Chic Leisure Limited for Chic Leisure Limited, the leading manufacturers of vermicelli, now available pre-cut in parch and unparched in convenient packet sizes. Whatever your needs, trust Chic Leisure Limited for quality products. Chic Leisure Limited, making your life easier.
For the everyday lowest prices on all grocery items, trust Low Cost Supermarket for the widest variety of quality products at low prices. Freshly picked fruits and vegetables, healthy products for your well-being, high-quality meat cuts, and a warm and friendly service. Low Cost Supermarket, Sun and Main Road, Cunupia.
Mitsu Air Limited, authorized Mitsubishi air conditioning dealer. No need to replace your air conditioning units ever so often. Split units, cassette, ductable, CTVIF systems, and much more. Mitsubishi Electric has long been powering industries and providing solutions for healthy living. Mitsu Air Limited boasts the industry's first 10-year warranty on all parts and labor. Inverter units are also available. Don't hear it, just feel it. Mitsu Air Limited, 246 Eastern Main Road, Barataria. Give us a call at 674-4000 or 675-4000 or email us at mitsu.limited@gmail.com.
Attention all bakers, doubles vendors and roti makers. Try our high quality bromate free, all purpose and whole wheat flour. Low price and conveniently packaged in 2 pounds, 2 kg, 10 kg and 25 kg bags. For wholesale and retail prices, contact Chic Leisure Limited at 665-3336 or 4808-715 or visit us at Warrenville, Cunupia. Chic Leisure Limited, quality you can trust.
I'm Brian. I've been welding for more than 25 years. It's a rough job, so I need tools that last long and work efficiently. The most important tool that I use every day is a welding machine. A good one, in my experience, must last at least, let's say, 4 to 5 years without breaking down or losing efficiency. I've been using a Ronix welding machine for about 4 years now, and it's been a really good companion.
Ronix Premium Quality.
Assalamu alaikum and good evening, and welcome to Breaking Barriers here on IBN Channel 8. Of course, this program is carried to you live from the studios of IBN, number 61 Bamboo Main Road, Bamboo number 2. I'm Inshan Ishmael, your host, and of course, I apologize last week. Last week was a big cricket match, and after the match, I decided that it was a good thing. It was a real good thing that I decided to hold off, because The match was a good match. That was the match between TKR and TKR and did I want TKR lost? No, it was the other one where TKR won. But that boy can't remember. TKR and Patriots. Right, TKR and Patriots. It was a good match. And of course, tonight there is some matches taking place, I think, between Barbados Royals and, of course, Guyana, and that's a match. It makes no sense watching it right now. Because I always say, you see the first innings, especially with Guyana right now hitting 100, over 100 in the first 10 overs, we know that Guyana are going to go over 200 because Guyana looks as if they're about to retain their crown. And after I watched that cricket on Sunday, I had to take 2 Panadol, 2 Kafanol, 2 Fensic, and whatever tablets that has caused stress, I had to take it. Anyway, pleasure being in your company. Of course, this first segment brought to you courtesy of our good friends at Tile Expression Limited. I'm trying to see if I could wrap up this program at 9 p.m. because, like I said, I like me a little cricket. All right, so guys, let's try to run through the slides. Dear gentlemen, Marcellus, imagine 18, 19 years ago, being told that you were guilty of committing a crime. No DNA evidence, nothing. The prosecutor at that time, the state prosecutor, said that this man was innocent. And still, they put the man to death yesterday. Still, by lethal injection. And this is in the US. And the US is well, after what's going on in Gaza and what's going on all over the world, the US used to be, the big talker and the big speaker and the example for holding up what is right. But when you see you have 2 imps going up as presidents, from Kamala Harris to this other jokey orange-head fool, you realize that the US is gone. It's gone, especially when you see things like this taking place. So, for me, it pains me like something like this could have taken place. But at the end of the day, this man has one of the greatest disadvantages. He's a black man living in America right now. And that makes you an ultimate target. That is the reality of it. Let's go again, guys. Running through. I have shown this so many times that it is scary. Moody, that is a riverbank that a man running a business of. But the corporation don't see that. Because the corporation seeing a guard boot and bamboo. But you know what is the most shocking part of this? How people could leave their car to repair by a place where your vehicle being treated like this, right? I mean, think about this now. I don't know, some people like they're really sick. I could never, you have no security, nothing outside there. This is public road. The corporation, dare not touch. A man interfered, the people who, I don't know who house that is, they cut the riverbank to build a house. But the corporation, I see that. Let's go again, guys. This is in the same village, not too far away. Zoom in. They're talking about we and sidewalk. Where's that vehicle? Where's that vehicle right now? But you see, the councillor does nothing. The member of parliament does nothing. And the corporation, like I said, does play games because the P&M run corporation. Now, you think if Incha and Ishmael had opened that, what would happen? They shut me down the next minute. But you see, this is what goes on. Because when you have a nasty, disgusting, stink, dirty P&M corporation, this is the type of things that you just see. Because at the end of the day, them just only see certain the next day. Because like I say, all these things, I just normally like to document and let people see how advantageous. Because you could go in Valsin and meet a guard boot. And that guard boot, it has no sidewalk. And it's not a problem. But you see, under this racist, egotistical, nasty, disgusting, pedophilic thing called the People's National Movement, all this nonsense continues. Up to today, I was telling somebody, right? Because we were talking, and I just want to segue a bit. It is the worst Trinidad and Tobago has ever been in the last 9 years. Education falling apart. You have an idiot as a minister of education, right? Somebody trying to reach me. Just take this caller. It's about the third time. Just see who it is and what it is they want. Go ahead, take the call. Yeah. Yeah. So, if there's any strippiness, they tell them on the end. 3 times they call her. Right, yeah. So, at the end of the day, just tell them you don't have time to waste with them. I don't know, people like they just strip it.
Okay, I'll tell them. Okay.
Right. What is in it?
They can't hear.
On what network? Give me this. You know, I get fed up at this. Every week is the same thing. Every week is the same thing. They can't hear. Let me call and find out what network. Because the cable company does this to me almost every bloody week. Yes, sir. Fellas, check every network for me and see what's going on. Yeah, what network are you on? Let me know now, please. Where are you located right now? What location? All right, do me a favor. Unpower your box. Or take off the power from the box. Wait 1 minute, power it back. And if I get back, call Flo tomorrow and let go of cost. Because I don't know how come my audio, my video does be up. Or I could go on Facebook or watch. Or I could go on YouTube or watch. But every time my program on, Flow like that is lost audio. I set a literate donkey in Flow. You understand? So no, I can't leave with that now. All right. You know, this is to tell you the sabotage, the level of sabotage that's going on right now with my program. For years it happened, and during election, it is so common. When my program come on, automatically you lose the audio. Right? I really don't know what to say again because this is so ridiculous. But coming back to what I was saying, we were talking about where this country has gone in 9 years. How many of you know that the murder toll is about to bounce 500 before the end of this year, before the end of this month? Ashmi, you know what the murder toll is right now?
473.
No, 485.
I stopped checking.
485 is the murder toll right now. And we have not even finished September as yet. Right? 485. Man gone and shoot up a school. A preschool. Shoot a man, kill him. Child get shot. But everybody like normal in this blasted country. Everybody like normal. Everybody like it ain't bother nobody. Everybody like they just living life like they don't care. What is working in this country? You see children by a school and the roof falling down, all the water, everything falling down, the children being exposed to raw electrical wire. And like I tell you, I have the idiot Minister of Education talking about what? We spend so much on schools. Look today, just now, Justin has sending you something, right? Just now, let me see. Yes, I'm sending you something, Justin. Let me right, because I want to send this to you now. I'm going to pull it up. Sorry about this, folks, but right, I'll try to get it shortly. But what happens is that I want you to tell me which ministry is working in this country. Which ministry is functional in this country? Which ministry is actually making a difference right now for the people that live here? Is national security making a difference? Imagine Stephen Williams, who recently got certain perks through the TTPS as an advisor. He get a national award for what? For being a blasted failure as a commissioner? When you look at the other areas, you look at trade falling apart and skin your teeth, Paula go to school, waste of time. Agriculture, Kazem working a little bit. Only because Kazem there. Avinash working. Right? Agriculture has some semblance of goodness. That expo alone, I give them full marks for that. But which ministry is working? Everybody in this country realize that when you go to the bank, you can't get $200 stinking dollars. Right? $200 stinking dollars. Yeah, remember all that afterwards, guys. $200 stinking dollars you can't get. But Suzuki could have 100 vehicles park up. 100 vehicles park up. Not just to sell. Suzuki could have vehicles on the way. Suzuki could have vehicles park up. Suzuki could have vehicles ordered. and I can't get 20,000 US to bring down one stinking vehicle. And all you tell me that we tolerating this? All you telling me that we continuing to tolerate this? A new car company, BYD, no born, where they getting the US from? No born. I have my business 30 years now, can't blast to get US. A company now bloody born and getting US. Where the hell is the US coming from? But like it born in all your business starving, all your children starving, and like all of these are such stupidities, all you just don't care. Where have we gone in this country? Every single God thing is falling apart. And hooray to the jackass on them who continue to say vote the PNM. Hooray! Because all you had to be getting some benefit. All you had to be benefiting somehow. Because let me tell you something. Being close next to the worst Prime Minister of Trinidad and Tobago should not be something that all should be boasting about. Look at where we have reached. Look at where we have reached. Where in the TTPS, my business was thrown out because I could say plain discrimination, because I exposed fraud. My company was shut down and we were stifled by the Trinidad and Tobago stinking service, the police service. But you see, like I tell all you, we are a bunch of illiterate dummies sitting down and taking this every blasted day, every blasted week. Have you seen any Chinese protests and say they're against the US? Have you seen a Chinese go and say they have problems clearing the goods? Have you ever gone to a Chinese grocery and see the shelves empty? All you don't understand what's going on here. We are in a position right now where small and mid-sized businesses are being stifled. We are being choked. We are being murdered. And you know what we're doing? We're sitting down like a set of drunk idiots and we're taking it every single God day. Every single God day. I have never seen a country with a bunch of lazy people who would be on the phone quarreling all the time. But if it's time for them to get up from all their backsides, all they have rum, all they have roti, all they have we coming. All they're watching all their children starving. All they're watching businesses that all their mothers and fathers started and sacrificed to build. And all they don't care if it's shut down, right? All they don't care that the future that all your children have might not even be a future. What is wrong with all your? What is there that is missing that people cannot see what is going on in this place? What disease has taken over our body that we have become so blinded that here what happening, that we cannot understand what is taking place? What has happened to the fathers and mothers who are outside there and are supposed to invigorate the hearts of the children to stand up? Tell them to come in here. Right? What is happening? What is really going on? When is it going to change? And then on the other side, you have a set of donkey in opposition. On the other side, you have a set of illiterate, egotistical clowns on the other side. All of them. What Michaela could succeed by herself? Michaela is a dead horse by herself. Gary is a dead horse by himself. Kamala is a dead horse by herself. None of them could win an election by themselves. And yet it is all of them beating their chest. Michaela putting up billboard, walking all over, getting 5 people to say, yeah, they have a problem. And she think that making a difference. I tell Michaela, Gary agreed to come, Vasant agreed to come. Michaela like she was too big to come. She refused. And that is how you want to build the politics and be a legacy for your father. Very disappointed. Very, very, very disappointed that is the road we are going down. But I was telling someone today that 9 years we have had hell under this PNM administration. 9 years, right? And I decided that, look, we need to come together as a people, even if it is to temporarily breed, even if it is to get these people to come together just for a short period so we could get a few years. So we could get a few years just to breed. That is all I want. That is all I want. All I want to be able to say, right? Just I get in here, right? Justin has sent a photo with something they know. You'll just post it up for me, right? Let me just put this up right. Let me know when you're ready with it. We must not be afraid to say what we need to say. Why it is we are so afraid of being targeted? Look, I said before, we took a position that if they put Meister or Smith in charge of the Diwali Nagar for parking, let's say as seniors, we're not opening our car park for any Diwali Nagar. We are not doing it. Because we were intimidated, we were threatened, we were treated by crap by those two gentlemen for years. Alai Muri, we went through hell, and we are not going through hell again. Because this time somebody threatened me, this time somebody pointed my face, I will cough you down. This time. Because this time is a different beast. I ain't taking no cuss on my mother. I will bust your face. That is me now. I get real dread. Take a look at this. Inshan Ishmael wants NCC's financials. Everybody see that and will wonder, well, why I want the National Carnival Commission's financials? Right? Well, let me tell you why. For years, we have heard and seen $146 million and $150 million spent towards Carnival. But 90% of Carnival was private, and then a few people benefited. And we kept saying, but where the money gone, where the money gone? But nobody had the testicular fortitude to actually do it. Nobody had the testicular fortitude to actually go and file a Freedom of Information Act request to get it. In February, I did it. In February, I filed a Freedom of Information Act request. The NCC responded and said by May they go organize. February, March, they were supposed to reply at the end of March and give me a deadline and provide the documents. May, nothing. They say, okay, by July we got send and we go organize. July, no documents, nothing. They say because it is voluminous. A man said that $146 million wasn't enough, but they make it work. But Carnival earn over $1 billion. Where is the proof? What did you get as income? What did you get as expenditure? How much did you spend on stage rental? How much did you spend on water, on food for staff? All those things we want to know, Gypsy. So therefore, here what's happening. We decided through my attorney, Mr. Richard Jagisa, that, and in fact, here what? Let me just call Mr. Jagisa, and Mr. Jagisa will explain to you what is the procedure with this thing now, because I want to be able to. But here, no? Nothing wrong with that? There is that kind of man in a way. Call him man and tell him, I sit to come now. Call him only. Yeah. It don't matter.
Hello, good night, Inshan.
Good night, Mr. Jagisa. My office will be calling you now. I want to link up with your call on the program live, all right?
Oh, okay. Okay.
Is it possible, sir?
Yeah, of course.
Okay, good.
Where's it up then?
Oh, God, where is he talking? Justin, you have his number there. You want me to send it to you? Let me know now, please. Just, I don't know, send the number to you, right? So, call him there for main studio. Tell him I insist for two of them to come.
Hello, how are you going? In chance of no, he said to come back.
No, tell him to come just for a few minutes now. Tell him I'm finishing my program.
Hello, good night.
Mr. Jagisa.
Hi, good night. Yes, Inshan.
Yeah. What happens is that I do apologize, but what happens is I was now discussing this whole NCC thing because it hit the newspaper and what is taking place. But I want you to run me through the process now, why we did what we did.
Okay. All right. In short, shortly after we won our matter against against Western Rollins Crow, there were statements made by the chairman of the National Carnival Commission, the NCC, that is Winston Gypsy Peters. One of the statements that he made had to do with acquiring a large sum of money from investors for Carnival. And he sent a Freedom of Information Act request asking for a bundle of documents, including the financials for the last couple of years, showing the investments and where the money had gone and expenditures and so on. Financial accountability in a nutshell. And the NCC responded to you and said that they will supply the documents. And they wanted some time to organize the documents.
I want you to remind people when I had made my initial request. It was February 2023, correct?
Correct, February 2023. Yes.
And under the law, they must provide that information within what time frame?
The FOIA specifies that they must supply a decision within 30 days
right.
and supply the documents within a reasonable time.
Right.
In this case, what you are asking for are financial documents, which are, first and foremost, which are documents that ought to readily be available to public authorities because
Correct.
it's financial documents touching and concerning taxpaying monies. And secondly, it is monies that the NCC chairman spoke on. So on what basis he made those comments? On what basis he made those averments? If those financial reports were not already prepared and not already reviewed and approved. So in those circumstances, when you ask for the documents, they ought to have readily been available and disclosable to you, a member of the public. Now, they were not. And you were correct. You made that initial request for the supply in February of last year. We have now gone a year and more, and we have not gotten the documents to date. Now, I was going to just touch on the fact that after the initial 30 days, they asked for an extension of time and another extension of time and another extension of time, and you graciously granted all of it. It got to the point, however, where it seemed as though they were giving you a runaround. And that's when I intervened, sent the pre-action protocol letter. Time expired on that. We filed the claim, and we are now before Justice Mohammed, and we've got leave to pursue the claim, and that fixed claim form was filed this week.
So what is the next process now? And take us through legally, when you file for judicial review, what is that process? What does it entail? What does the court advise in cases like this?
Well, this is a judicial review application under the Freedom of Information Act, which is a two-step process. It is first an application for leave, supported by an affidavit in support, and in these cases where it's under the FOIA, leave is generally granted without a hearing. The reason for that is because the act is so specific, and we have to thank the person who piloted the act, which is Ramesh Miraj, SC, for such a well-crafted piece of legislation which encourages transparency in public authorities and accountability in financial statements. Now, that having been said, the leave stage is usually granted, permission to pursue the judicial review is usually granted without a hearing to save costs, to save the public authority costs, and to allow them an opportunity to supply the documents that are being requested. All right? So that is step one. Step two is the burden is on the applicant, which is in this case us. The burden is on the applicant to file his fixed claim form and affidavit in support and so on, all within a certain period of time. In our cases, we usually get 14 days. So we got leave, I believe it was last week, Friday, and then we filed, I believe it was Monday. So we filed within time and so on, and then we get a fixed date to appear before the judge. In this case, it is first week in December. And all that has to happen between now and December is the NCC needs to supply the documents. If they do not supply the documents by the date we appear before the judge, they will have to explain why. They will have to put in some reasonable excuse why. Now, in this case, there ought not to be any excuse. There ought not to be any request for an extension of time because they've already gotten a year and more. They've already gotten sufficient time to prepare the bundle. And again, these are in circumstances where the documents ought to already be available. Otherwise, how else would the comments made by the chairman, how else would the comments gazetted? And that has to be seriously looked at.
Now, let me complicate things a little bit. If the NCC is unable to provide it, then the NCC should be unable to receive government funding for 2025. Because if you cannot account for what you spend in 2024, why the hell should you get $1 for 2025?
That is absolutely correct. And that's where the legislative branch has to come in and conduct their proper audit over financials and really look at their legislation and look at the spending in this country and ask itself, what is it really doing? If the chairman of a public authority could make statements without proper documentation, without evidence, the statements are not disclosable, not able to be reviewed by members of the public, then we have a serious issue regarding accountability and transparency and a serious dig on democracy. And the last point I want to make is there is something called a duty of candor, a duty of honesty and high integrity that we expect public officials to hold. And we expect them to have that connection between the office that they hold and us, the citizens. And when these high office holders make these bold affirmations, these bold assertions without any supporting evidence, and they turn out to be false, or they turn out to be without proper evidence or without proper supporting indicators, then that is a serious indicator that that person ought not to hold public office.
But why is it that the FYA, I notice it's being used sparingly, and the public has the option to utilize this tool, which is to the benefit of citizens of this country, because you are able to get accountability. Why do you think that citizens are afraid to come out and use this tool?
Well, it may be that they don't know how to use it. It may be that it may be too costly for them to use it, but it is as easy to use as anything else. It is, anybody can Google the act. The act is just a handful of pages. Go straight to the back of the act. There's a schedule. You just copy the schedule, write whatever documents you want, you are requesting, and submit it to the public authority. And that's it. It's very simple. It was designed specifically to encourage us as citizens to question public authorities, to question spending, to question promotions, to question funding for certain contractors to do certain jobs and so on. It is specifically designed to increase government accountability to the public. And that is exactly why the legislation was passed.
Well,
how it is designed.
I just letting you know, I got some information, and the allegations are worrying in that we are being told that vehicle import licenses, which you have to apply for, and which certain dealers have gotten, there have been allegations of preferential treatment based on recommendations from senior persons in the Ministry of Trade and the Prime Minister's office, and persons who have been waiting for years have not been able to access a license, but certain individuals close to government have been able to access import license because allegedly, because of funds that they may have paid or relationship to senior ministers. Tomorrow morning, we will be filing an FOIA for a complete list of all the new registered car dealers. When did they apply? When did they get their license? And the list of people who have been waiting and how many years they have been waiting. What do you think about that?
That is absolutely ideal, superb, and I'm 100% in support of it. Let's get down to the serious issues in this country. Foreign exchange distribution, import, export. Let's get down, and now is the correct time. I mean, every time is the correct time. But see, now, as you know and as I know, we are in an election mode. Election is next year, if not sooner. And now is the time to be asking these very, very important questions, because now is the time people, as they say, people want to take the bag of money and run. And we as citizens need to hold them accountable and treat with that concern now rather than later.
Yeah, but Richard, the sad reality is what I am doing, one would have hoped the opposition would have been doing what I'm doing. You agree?
I absolutely agree. And China, I've always said, other than you in this country, there is nobody else at your level, nobody else fighting for these cornerstone democratic rights, transparency, accountability, and so on. Other than you, I can't think of another person.
No. I correct you there, because let me tell you something. For over a year plus, going into 2 years, there is my partner. I am Batman, he's Robin. They call him Richard Jagesa. Right? you are my Robin, and I see a photo today. Well, I imagine you're in tights too. But not like Puff Daddy though. Right? Not like PDD. Right? But without your support in these matters, it would not be able to go forward. So this is not a meeting. And I would like to thank you so much, because you have partnered with me in this whole thing. Because, I mean, I am worried to say where we have gone in 9 years. Richard, every single state entity is falling apart. There's nothing that works in this bloody country. And I said it early on, Lifestyle
Correct.
Motors could have cars parked up, they could have cars on the way, they could pay for orders, and I can't get $20,000 to bring in one car. But they could have millions of dollars. BYD, a company that now startup, now born, and they bringing in cars, tens of thousands in US, hundreds of thousands in US. And I can't get 20,000 to bring in one stinking car. And you telling me that we as a population sitting down and digesting this every day, boy?
Inchan, let's bring it even closer to home. Property tax is now the hand is in our pocket, is in our wallet. In addition to purchasing the land, paying the stamp duty, paying the taxes at the time of purchase, ensuring that all my water rate taxes are dealt with, land and building taxes and so on, I now have to pay property tax based on a valuation that you sit in an Eiffel Tower, in an ivory tower in Port of Spain, and come up with. Nobody ever came in and investigated, looked at my property, but you want to impose a property tax based on a value that you imagine. That's one point. The second point is, Inchan, after I've already paid all of the taxes to get the property in my name, you now want to come after the fact and tax me. And the third and final point, and I want to tie this into what you said earlier about favoritism, is why is it that the citizens, the poor man with the dwelling house, the mother and father, the public servants, they have to pay property tax. But those who live in ivory towers in Port of Spain and other places, Diego Martin, Westmoreland, business owners, why are the businesses not being taxed? Luxury vehicles, no taxes. The yachts, the boats in Carenage, no taxes for them. The businesses that we the government, we the citizens, pay the government taxes for the government to rent buildings in Port of Spain. We don't own some of those buildings, we rent the buildings. We're not taxing those buildings, but we're taxing the poor man who's struggling to make ends meet. The people who live in month to month, the people who have loan and mortgage, the same people who, when they manage to go on family vacations, have to line up in the bank for $200 US to go on a family vacation with wife and 2 children. That is the people they're coming to tax now. And determine that those are the people you want to come after. Make no mistake. They choose businesses in Port of Spain alone.
My dear brother Richard, thank you so much. I'm getting ready to take a break, but next week, brace yourself. You got to come in the studio, because we need to have a discussification on many issues, and I could sit down and listen to you for hours, especially in court. So I thank you so much, my brother. Again, God bless you, for everything that you continue to do. And we have now started. I think you agree, we have now started.
Of course, young, have some age in me still, not married, no children to rush home to, be ready. Sorry for whoever we set our eyes on, because
that is just a temporary position. That is just a temporary position.
And
all right, Richard.
I thank you for being able to serve. I'm always able and willing, and I will always serve so long as the fight is moving forward.
Thank you so much, my brother. Thank you so much. God bless. Take care. And of course, I was Attorney at Law Richard Jagesa on the phone. Could we pull back Mitsu, please? Let me just thank them for sponsoring that segment. And remember, Mitsu Air Limited, they're the agents for Mitsubishi Electric. Not just a air conditioned unit, the air conditioned unit. And if you want cassette units that don't leak, and not like the ones that these people had supplied me, that was leaking in my house and giving trouble for years, right? At the end of the day, green energy, rubbish. Anything you see with green energy, that is rubbish. Stick to top brands. You could give them a call, and they will, of course, come and make an assessment on your residential or commercial property. All air-conditioned units are inverter types, which means that you're going to save money on electricity. Give them a call, Mitsu Air Limited, agents for Mitsubishi Electric. Let's go now, and let's, of course, welcome our good friends at Rita. And remember, Rita have one of the best tastes. And one of the things I like about their coffee drink is that it's not full of sugar. It's not full of a ton of sugar. When you drink it, it's like you're getting diabetes, like that rubbish they sell in Starbucks. It's a high-quality drink you're getting. Just like every other product that Rita carries, and Atlantic Trading, give them a call, and of course for distribution, wholesale, and retail. All right, so let's run through the slides that we have again, guys. Muri, how long this project going on now? By the Kuva Children's Hospital?
Yes. Yes.
When is the expiry date for this project? Donkey years now, I don't know, more than a year now this project going on by the Kuva Children's Hospital, and one is like, this project is never done. When is the expiry? When it going to finish? What is it they're doing? Because I look and I see it and I can't understand why the hell this thing taking so long. Let's go again. Wassa repaired the line in bamboo. And this is how they left the line. Zoom in. Watch. And then Wassa going to come when data started rotting out and question why. This is the type of work, and I always said, and I want to publicly, you see Ravinanga? Ravinanga was my attorney, and he's a fellow of high standards. If he still supports the PNM, well, I'm questioning that, right? But at the end of the day, support us tonight. What it is that all you see, that all you really will cause to continue to vote PNM. Many of our children suffering. Prices of food through the roof. Education, the schools that all very children going to. You know, Mount Hope could turn out to be one of the best schools, but when you look at Mount Hope, watch how much parents will be voting PNM, who children go in Mount Hope, even though they blasted roof on the school falling on the children's head, they don't care. They don't care. And that is what many PNM supporters for. We don't care. We don't care if the PNM costs we, if we insult we, if the PNM starve we. We just like Maduro supporters, we will do what the hell we have to do because of race, and that is it. Many of them, similarly the UNC people do the same thing too, of course. But the UNC right now with Kamala like a dead horse. And these people, like, they just don't give a damn. They just don't care. Anyway, let's take our first break. Remember, tell her wrapping up at 9 because I want to go watch some cricket. And we'll be back right after this break. Hey guys, they say in the Facebook, like,
I'm Brian. I've been welding for more than 25 years. It's a rough job, so I need tools that last long and work efficiently. The most important tool that I use every day is a welding machine. A good one, in my experience, must last at least, let's say, 4 to 5 years without breaking down or losing efficiency. I've been using a Ronix welding machine for about 4 years now, and it's been a really good companion.
Ronix Premium Quality. Ronix Heavy Duty 89 Series. High efficiency, brushless 20-volt motor. All-in-one professional angle grinder kit. Ronix brushless angle grinder.
This year, protect Protect your home with a beautiful standing seam roof that is built to last. Standing seam roofs are proven to last longer, eliminate potential leak points and rusting that screws cause. Built to Last is offering 5% off your purchase, plus save up to $2,000 with free roll forming of your roofing sheets and guttering. Roofing that's built to last. Built to Last Hardware and Roofing Manufacturing Limited, Southern Main Road, Freeport. Call or WhatsApp 355-7703.
Mitsu Air Limited, authorized Mitsubishi air conditioning dealer. No need to replace your air conditioning units ever so often. Split units, cassette, ductable, CTVIF systems and much more. Mitsubishi Electric has long been powering industries and providing solutions for healthy living. Mitsu Air Limited boasts the industry's first 10-year warranty on all parts and labor. Inverter units are also available. Don't hear it, just feel it. Mitsu Air Limited, 246 Eastern Main Road, Barataria. Give us a call at 674-4000 or 675-4000 or email us at mitsu.limited@gmail.com.
And welcome back, my friends. And of course, the video that I wanted to play last week, but I didn't have a program. Let us show the clown that get robbed.
Oh, they have a car? They had a car?
Minister. So I am in St. Joseph in my constituency. 5 o'clock, hot sun, bright sun, sitting outside Nyabingi Bar opposite the church with a constituent. 2 fellas walk up to me, put a gun to my head and rob me of my bracelet. Just letting you know where crime was reached. No, the police say anything. You don't have to get. I'm just letting you know.
He called the minister on a phone that ain't looking like it was on to tell him, look where crime reached. This man is such an idiot. You ought to call the minister to tell him, look where crime reached. The minister doesn't know where crime reached. The minister knows where crime reached. You have Minister Colport, who is turning out to be a major failure. Then you have Minister Bebe, who always sleeping all the time. They know where crime reach, but not as that. Yeah, what I want to deal with. Number one, isn't it passing strange that there is no footage of the robbery, even though there were cameras around? Cameras next door, cameras across the road, no footage of robbery. That is number one. Number two, isn't it strange that all of a sudden within 24 hours, 2 gentlemen were held? And then all of a sudden, after one of them, the attorneys made a threat, legal action, boom, he get released, while they still have the other one. Let me tell you something, a simple robbery, within 8 hours time in interrogation, you know whether you have somebody or not. They are keeping somebody for over a week, and they could be sued, and that is the end of the story there. But everything is a lie in this. Everything is a lie, from the police holding those responsible. That is a lie. The only way that person will be held and charged is if they set him up. And this is where we reach in this country, where ministers have to lie from what I see here because there is no proof. Calling the police and saying you get robbed is no proof. We fed up here, people call the police and say, my daughter missing, what bandit section is run away, she run away. We fed up here about those things. So at the end of the day, when you hear a minister telling you that, here, what's happening? I get robbed. And then all of a sudden when you're looking at the phone, you're seeing nothing on the phone. Start that story with once upon a time. Wrong group of people you're trying to fool. Because let me tell you something, you could fool your stupid supporters, but when you are to call a minister and say, Mr. Minister, I just calling you, bright sunshine and I outside and I just get robbed, but I just letting you know. For what purpose? We don't have access to a minister. And let me tell you something. If I get robbed, the last person I call in is a minister. For what? What you calling them for? The same person who is a blasted failure on both sides. You calling them to do what? The same people who have the murder rate going up to 500 by the end of this month. You calling them to do what? The same people who have over 2,000 cars missing and stolen and disappear over the last year. You calling them to do what? The same people who in charge and who are the top and overseeing all the extortion, right? And ain't doing nothing about it. You calling them to do what? What are you calling them for? To ask them what is your favorite flavor of ice cream or what? Because there is no other reason to call them. There is no other purpose to call them. There is no other function of calling them. Because it is automatically you dialing 800 failure. That is where it reaches. What I'll do, I'll open up the phone lines for just a few calls because like I said, I want to wrap up the program by 9 p.m. tonight to go on with some cricket. For those of you who want to call in, do so now. I know many of you are probably switching back and forth. And what happens is that at the end of the day, it's now almost 12 to 9 already. So guys, could we get our phone numbers up on the screen? 663-4762 or 663-8373 or 645-4426. You know, let me know as well if you believe this thing that happened to Terrence here, saying if you believe that was a setup too as well. If you believe that was a lie, because to me, that story should have started with Once Upon a Time. That story should have begun with Once Upon a Time because it made absolutely no sense. Do we have any other slides that we need to put up, guys, or that's it? What's that? No, not now. Nice for later on. We're gonna be handling all them things, right? So, as I said before, I will just take a few calls, and let's go to our lines. Hello. Hello.
Hi, Inshan.
Good evening, sir.
Yeah, I think how you need to start that story is why was he being taped in the first place? Like he asked somebody to tape him. Why would somebody want to tape him when he making a call in a time that he being robbed or was just robbed, you know? And I just fed up. I mean, just to end my contribution tonight, you have 3 dummies, right, responsible for the state of our crime in this country. The 3 dummies. You call 2, and the PM is the 3rd one.
No. We are the Papa Dummy. We are the Papa Dummy. We know who the Papa Dummy is. Because at the end of the day, he just went away to get the Gangarang check. Right? We are a suffer down here. We are to go through public health care. He boasts in Trinidad are one of the best health care. But when it's time for him to check everything from top to bottom, he could go abroad and we pay him for just like Maxi. We pay for Maxi 3 million because we are a bunch of fools. We continue to be fools. Thank you very much, caller. Let's go again. Hello.
Hello, good night.
Good night, sir.
Yeah, good night, sir.
Good night.
This is to show you how these ministers are not in touch, not even with each other. Because he calling the minister to tell him how their crime has reached. But they recently add a minister to the National Security Ministry to help fight crime. So he wasn't aware that because of where crime has reached, that is why they did that. But when we get ready calling the state, Minister, I just wanted to know, sun hot and I in a constituency here and I get robbed with a bandit a gun by my head. I'd like to show you how untouched they are. And I want to commend you on the comment you made when you say the opposition not doing the job because you doing it for them. They're not fighting the government
at all.
Expose the corruption that they presently in. They themselves implemented the legislation for the property tax. Now they themselves say it's unconstitutional and now is not the right time, but they're not taking the government to court to have it repealed. When Rowley was in opposition and they made the legislation section 34, he took them to court and they had to go back to the parliament and repeal section 34. But you have an illegal act, which is the property tax. I would like you to bring your lawyer on your next program to show us where in the law that they changed the PAYE law from pay as you earn to pay as if you could earn. That they're telling you your house, if you rent it, you could get 6,000 a month, so you will pay a percentage of that. Now, I don't know if they're charging the property tax based on location or based on some kind of evaluation.
Location is one thing, valuation of the land, valuation of the house, how many bathrooms you have, whether a bathroom have gold toilet, whether it is you can take a full load or half load in the toilet, Them is the kind of thing they're checking.
In Chan, it have houses in the ghetto bigger than the houses that they claiming.
But they are PNM supporters, and PNM supporters shall pay no tax. They shall thief electricity. They shall thief water. It does not matter. They shall protest, burn down the road. They shall shoot. They shall kill. They will not be caught because they are PNM supporters. Always dog. Always dog. Who the hell is all here? Don't complain. They could do what they want.
I don't understand that. So the police and them who live in those vicinity, how we could recognize who is PNM supporters and who is not because of where you live?
Let me ask you a question based on this property taxing. When you buy a vehicle, isn't it motor vehicle tax is paid on a specific CC?
That's correct, the size of the engine.
Isn't it when you pay your government taxes, your NIS, it is paid, etc., on specific values?
Correct.
So how the hell you telling me that you doing a offline assessment on my house and it is not specific, but I being taxed for that? So I paying a tax on something that is not specific?
And there is the question I want a lawyer to come and try and explain so the public could gain some kind of knowledge to stand against that. The opposition not doing anything, you know. They're waiting to come in office based on the oppression that the sitting government lay upon the citizenry. So they're saying the public will get vexed and vote them in and vote out PNM. But they're not showing any interest in the fight against oppression.
Yeah, but Kola, why did the property tax go through? Isn't it fact that they wanted a certain amount of people to be registered and the set of idiot and donkeys went and follow form and they meet the percentage? Isn't it fact?
No, they did not.
No,
because I just watch another program which that co-host said they filed the same FOI, and to date, what they're saying is those things, that information does not exist. So they don't have the percentage of population that they needed to implement. But when they send a high value on your property and you go into query, they list it as if you sent in your thing and you agree. So they increasing the number of people by sending an exorbitant cost to your rental value and you coming in to argue over it or to query it. So they add in that to the people that they have, and then when you watch, how you know is not the same UNC people rushing to pay.
That is where we are at. Anyway, I have to leave it there because I have a caller on hold on your line.
Yeah,
thank you very much, caller.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. Let's go again. Hello? What is this code for?
Hello?
Huh? All right, just update all over the cricket. Guyana made 219 after the 20th over. 219, so right now they're on a break. So the Royals have it hard. Right, so for those of you who follow on the cricket. Yes, sir, go ahead.
Yes, concerning the same thing, I find it very strange. The Alsing get robbed by a bar. There are 3 schools, major schools, in that constituency: Convent, College, St. Joseph Boys RC.
You know them
that
well.
That is right opposite the church. What kind of example is he setting as a minister outside of a bar, getting robbed at that hour of the evening when there are school children, taxis, walking up and down the road? What is he telling the Minister of Education? It's okay to have a bar around the school? It's okay for me as a minister to walk into a bar? What example? So them children passing down there, see that minister sitting down on a bench, allegedly calling the police, allegedly telling people to get robbed. What they're going to say? Hey, look, they are saying outside a bar, so therefore I don't need to go to school. Let me go and take a beer and I'll be a minister of education one day.
But you see, you are expecting our ministers to be setting examples. They have never been known to set examples.
Exactly.
Do as I say,
and
but not as I do.
That's how I look at this thing. That damn dotage fool went and stood outside a bar opposite a Catholic church with a Hindu ban on his hand and telling people he get robbed. with the police station right down there.
Don't worry, he would have ended up by the mouse down the road sooner or later.
Oh, Jesus and nature, that's my contribution, brother.
Thank you very much, sir. Thank you very much.
Yeah, go and watch that other team try to
Yeah. 9 o'clock I shut it down and I go in and see how going on myself. We'll take 2 final calls. Hello? Hello?
Yes, salam alaikum, Mamu.
Wa alaikum assalam.
Now, just a quick one on the Honorable Minister, right? I don't believe his story. So what I will do after the election, I am going to cause an inquiry to find out how we could charge this man for wasteful police time. You can't lie and get away with that. No. I will see him on TV line. So he have a charge to answer about that. And I have to say something else about there. So
yeah, go ahead. All right, okay. All right then. All right, so that is where we hold it for now. Thank you so much. One is that I have 2 minutes again. I just want to end off by saying, listen, man, at the end of the day, I am so fed up of the way this country is being run. I am so fed up of everything that is falling apart. And I don't know why people continue to sit down and take it. I must commend this young man, Isa Mohammed, with the 600 project. I listened to his first few minutes when he got into his speech, and he is really into astrology and astronomy. And he said it right. He's not even 40 years, and look at what he has to do now. And you could tell the passion because the love for his family and his love for his children. So, Isa, you keep going down that road, bro. What happens is that you have my support. And what happens is that we all need to pull something together. We all need to come together. Rather than talking in our own small pockets, we need to have something so massive that literally 100,000 people will gather. And we're going to say, here, what's happening? Enough is enough. We had enough. We can't take it anymore. We can't breathe, and we need to have this country recover. All right, so folks, this is where I have to end it off. God bless you. Thank you so much. Take care. I'll catch you at Grillion this weekend. Remember, Baraka Grounds, come down Bosalim, book the pool for the family. And of course, we look forward to your continued support. We have a dinner plan, a hospital project fundraising dinner, which is scheduled on November the 17th. We are looking forward the menu, ribeye strips with garlic chicken, a creamy fish with sauteed vegetables, and it's going to be a fundraising dinner. I'm looking for all those of you who are our viewers to purchase tickets and come and be part of it, God willing. And of course, as I said before, if Meister or Smith is to be there in charge of parking at the Nagar, our committee has agreed that we will not be facilitating parking this year because we are not going through any intimidation or stupidity by officers in khaki uniform. We had enough of their dotishness. We had enough. And we are not going to go for it again. We are not going to take the threats, and I'm saying this publicly because it is public knowledge. I've mentioned it before, and I'm not going to take the intimidation, myself or my staff. And if somebody get coughed down, they may deserve it. Right? They may deserve it. Depends on what it is, because the police have a habit of pushing people and trying to intimidate. And this year, I ain't going to take no cuss about my mother. I ain't going to take no cuss about my mother. And I ain't going to take no insult, especially like khaki wearing fellas who believe that that khaki give them some special powers, like Supergirl or something. All right, so take care, folks. God bless you. We'll be in touch. Assalamu alaikum and good evening.